What's up, everybody? Welcome to the best 120 minutes of your day. And I'm going to give you your 120 minutes today. Let me share this show. Thanks for allowing us to be a little bit behind. And I just had some stuff to do today, and it was very, very important. But I'm ready. I'm ready to get cracking. I'm ready to get cracking. Let me share in let me share to my groups. And I don't know how long we're gonna be over there on Facebook, but we're gonna try to do a little something. Facebook. We're gonna see how long you're gonna act right today. Let's see how long you're gonna act right today. I've shared it on Facebook. Let me share it. I'm just gonna see how long y'all. But hey, my dude's waiting on me. My dude's waiting on me, man. And I was trying to get to y'all, man. Y'all know. But I had to take my sister to the doctor, man, and just want to make sure she all right. Before I get to moving around and getting out of here. It's just so much stuff, man. I don't know where to start. Women them having a press conference right now, probably as we speak. Um, where was I at? You know, I really ain't prepared. Today, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna really wing it because um I thought I wasn't going. Let me tell you something. I I had I had in mind that man, I ain't coming on the show today. But boy, we're gonna have a breakthrough today. And I know we are. Uh Gary Carter sent me some early. Let me talk about Wimby. Well, let's get Wimby in them. Let's indoc. Let's see what happened in the news. I haven't took no. I listen. I'm winging it today, Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis, what you want to talk about? That is Moody. Otha Brown, talk to me. Tell me what y'all want to tell you about. I got a few. I got a few little notes that I was thinking about the Spurs now. The Spurs and the bipolar. My poor little, I got to clear up some space on my poor little iPad, y'all. Cause that thing running on a million. I mean, I got so much stuff. I got all these apps open. I got, and it's just this poor little thing. It just ain't. It ain't. It ain't. It just won't. It just won't give me what I want. It just won't give me what I want. Let's see. Give me what I want. But what's up? Talk to me. Joe Lewis, what you got? Share the show. Uh Let me share it. Let me share it with everybody. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get my shares in. Let me go over here because it's some interesting stuff happening. And uh what's up? Talk to me. Joe Lewis, what you got? I'm talking to myself over there. But y'all, let me get my shares in. Let me turn that down. Derek Holcomb, what's up? You know, Derek Hope, when we're creatures of habit, and some people ain't gonna come on today, cause what? Well, Robert, you didn't come on at the right time. I told y'all's ass I wasn't gonna come on here early today. I had some things I had to do. You feel me? But I'm here and we're gonna get something done. Let me make sure I got all my share. What else I supposed to do? There's something else I supposed to share. Did I share with Twitter? Hold up. Let me make sure I share with Twitter. Uh, did I? Hold on. Make sure I shared it with Twitter. Y'all just hold on a minute. I think I did already. Derek Hogan, it's about to be epic. Cause when I'm like this, I didn't go through all of my stuff I needed to go through. My normal the normal way that I prepare for a show, I didn't prepare for the show that like today, and I didn't. So ladies and gentlemen, y'all gonna see something real different. I'm just waiting, you know. People think I ain't coming on, but I didn't share it to everybody, so ain't nothing I can say. Ain't nothing I can say. I ain't gonna be mad at nobody. I'm just gonna do what I need to do. I have done it, and guess what? Let's get it. Let's get it in. I shared it. Um, I see what people were talking about, the Labor Day Classic game against Texas Southern and Prairie View is going to be on 11 a.m. on a Sunday. Huh. That's interesting. Sunday morning. Our Labor Day Classic gonna be on Sunday morning. Did anybody get that? They got my boy Bryce up here doing. Hold on. They posted something on Instagram. Hold up, y'all. Let me see what they saying about Bryce. Bryce. What's Bryce doing? What Bryce is doing, man? Hold up. This man said I've been hooping for 20-something years. What did he say? Wait, what is Bryce doing, man? I don't know. He said I've been hooping for 24 years. Now I'm gonna sell some clothes. Y'all, I'm just trying to see. I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, I got to find something. Hold on 1 second. Y'all go nowhere. Y'all, I told you I'm winging it today. ESPN is carrying the game, but I don't care, Derek Holcomb. I don't see, unlike everybody else, I don't give a fat rat's ass about ESPN carrying the game. You know what it seemed like to me? Somebody sent it to me. I got to find it. Glad you said that, Derek. Let me send it to y'all. So we just sitting up here begging ESPN that we gonna go on a Sunday morning after y'all done been out there tailgating all Saturday. Hold on. TSU, ESPN. This is what it looked like to me. Derek, I'm glad you said that. Hold up. Just put it up there. Where is that? Hold on. I messed up. Hold on, let me send it again. Send it again. Derek, think about that, Derek. 11 in the morning? For what? Be on ESPN? Who agreed to that? Charles McClellan? Hold up. This what it looked like to me. We begging for everything. Derek? That's what it looked like to me, Derek. They got Wimby over there on the he's at the press conference right now. I ain't I'm not gonna be able to go over there and take a look at it because what? I'm over here with y'all. I got to send a note to my Facebook people and just let them know I tried again. Y'all don't know. Lord knows I try. I do everything that they tell me to do, and they don't do it right. They don't treat me right. Let me go over here and send it over there. I'm just gonna go over here and make sure y'all got it. Let's see. Make sure y'all got it. I'm gonna share it over there to Facebook. You know, cause the Chop Shop Facebook had already done shut down on me, so I'm gonna send it, and post it over there. This is where we at, y'all. But Derek, I want to know. He said, "What books are you reading, and are there any must-read books you recommend for high school and college students?" Joe Lewis, come to me tomorrow, because I've been reading a lot of business stuff lately, and but I'm reading. I'm trying to read this book now called American Black Wall Street. A lot of my friends was in Tulsa this weekend, and I was really, really, really interested in a book, and I'm having them send it to me. I've been, seeing little bits and pieces of it, but I ain't got it. It's just some stuff that I didn't know, and I'm gonna share with y'all today. But that's good, Joe. Joe, let me put this in my notes. I'm gonna go. I got a little shelf, Joe. I'm gonna take a picture of it tomorrow. Let me see. This for Joe. Watch it. Let me see. Joe Lewis, what books I'm reading. Joe, and everybody might not be ain't ready to read these books I'm reading now. But I'm gonna give them to you. But let me get back. If anybody shared the show, because I got some stuff to. Joe, what's happening in the news, Joe? What's happening out there in these streets, Joe, that you want to talk about? What's happening? Women in playing tonight again. No, tomorrow night. We'll talk about that. I was thinking about some stuff. This morning, somebody sent me something, and I haven't read it yet, so I'm gonna read it with y'all. But what I learned about this NBA basketball is you can't, and they play at 7:30 tomorrow. Hey, Tamika, what's up, baby? Tamika, you can't take for granted that you're in the finals. To all the players who are having a chance to play in these finals today. I don't know how many players are available on both teams. Let me see. Can I just see the rosters? These guys got to take advantage because you can't take for granted that you're going to be in the finals. So we got Harrison Barnes. We got for the Spurs. You got Bismack Biyombo. You got Carter Bryant. You got Stephen Castle. You got Julian Champagnie. You got De'Aaron Fox. You got Dylan Harper. You got he's not playing. He's on the bench. But they're gonna get a ring anyway. You got Harrison Ingram. But Keldon Johnson, he plays. David Jones Garcia, who played at Memphis. He's on the bench. He's on the bench. I think he's two-way guy. Luke Cornett, Jordan McLaughlin, Let's see who else we got. Kelly Olynyk, Miles Mason Plumlee, Devin Vassell. Who else we got? And Victor Wembanyama and Lindy Waters III. And on the other side, I'm going somewhere with this now. The roster of the Knicks. You can't take this for granted. You're going to be in the finals. Jose Alvarado, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Jordan Clarkson. Let me keep going. Josh Hart. Who else down there? Tyler Kolek, Miles McBride, Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, Jeremy Shohan. He been running his mouth a little bit because he used to play for the Spurs. Talking about, I know how to guard Wemby. And Karl Anthony Towns. You can't take it for granted. And I always remember when y'all watching these games, share the show, when y'all watching these games, when these games get this tough, every team know everything the other team gonna go, everything. So in these type of games, you have to rely on your habits. I want y'all to be watching this. And when I talk about habits, I'm talking about the consistency, right? See, one night you're supposed to be the low man, and you are one beat late, just one step late. It don't take but one step late, you beat. On a coverage, you mess up a coverage. All 5 guys can play good defense, and one guy mess up the coverage, you get scored on. When you playing like this, when we, and I'm just watching the matchups, and I'm just trying to, let's see, and y'all follow this tomorrow. Let's see who they start Wemby off in the beginning of the game on. It's very important. I think they're going to start him off on Josh Hart. Right? But Wemby got to be careful. Because when Wemby go over to try to block a shot, because he want to be on Josh Hart, because Josh Hart, he got the advantage there. And he can close out the Josh Hart. But if he close out somewhere else and Wemby try to block a shot, and don't block the shot completely, Josh Hart's average, I think, 5 offensive rebounds a game. So we got to keep him to about 1 or 2 offensive rebounds a game. That's a key. I'm just giving y'all keys, little keys, and I ain't looked at the whole game. I'll give y'all some more tomorrow. But I was thinking about that. And I was just thinking about Cat. How Cat gonna have a physical advantage. Cat is really offensive enough to really give Wemby problems. He's bigger, he's stronger. He can muscle him around if he want to. Take him outside and take him off the dribble. And so they're gonna switch that thing around. I mean, I'm gonna tell you though, this is what I want y'all to watch for me tomorrow. What I want y'all to watch for me tomorrow. You're gonna be the smartest people in the nail shop. Or in the beauty shop. I want y'all to watch for me tomorrow. We got to watch this, y'all, the Luke Cornett minutes. Share the show. Give me a thumbs up if you're on the feed. Derek, Dad. Where my man? Okay, that's right, everybody. You got to watch, because he's going to play about 14 minutes. And the reason I say that is, Joe Lewis, watch this. The reason I say this, Joe Lewis, is Joe, Luke Cornett gonna play 14 minutes. Victor Wembanyama in this series, in the playoffs, is a plus, I think plus 80, hold up, plus 108, in the playoffs, plus 188. Luke Cornett is a negative 12 in the whole playoffs. So pay attention to that. Watch how the lead shrinks our games when Luke Cornett is in the ball game. Because he's going to play about 14 minutes. And we got to be able to, because I want the Spurs to win. The Spurs got to be able to weather that 14 minutes. Y'all got me? Do anybody else look at the game like that? Or did I help somebody today? But my man asked me something. I know every day I need to tell us we got to vote. I'm going to tell you some stuff why we need to vote too. I wanted to talk about youth sports. I want to talk about, and I didn't get all the information, but Stephen Curry, his next signature shoe will not be a Nike, not Adidas, not New Balance. It's Li Ning, the Chinese sports wear company, and that is they are number 2 in China, just behind Anthem. Anthem is endorsed by Klay Thompson. But this Li Ning, I've been knowing about this brand for so damn long. I know, man, since their inception. Damon Jones, the one that's in trouble with the NBA right now, and you know, the one who pleaded guilty to gambling charges. He was the first guy that I ever heard, because he was one of their first signees. I think you go look that up. He's one of the first signees, Li Ning. You know, him and D Wade was cool. So D Wade and Jimmy Butler. But if you've been around this show long enough, I mentioned it, Tamika, a few months ago, Darrell Anderson. I mentioned it that this was really Steph's only option. Because y'all remember Stephen Curry was wearing everybody's shoes the whole year. He was wearing everybody's shoes, you know, different people's shoes. So I was, he said, did Dwayne Wade wear those shoes? Yes. He got a lifetime deal with them. Dwayne Wade got a lifetime contract with Li Ning. Derek Hopen, that was smart. But I was about to tell y'all that Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade wear those shoes. And I never wore a pair. But players who play actually love them. The players who play in them, Derek, and the people that I know that overseas pros and all that kind of stuff, they play in them. They say it's one of the best shoes on the market. But if it ain't got that Nike swoosh on it, y'all ain't want to wear it. But I mentioned this months ago. It was really Steph only option outside of starting his own brand, like Jaylen Brown did. His own brand, which is a big lift. That's starting your own brand, man. It's just. So your question should be, Robert, why not Nike? Why not Adidas? And I want to explain to y'all. So y'all told y'all gonna be smart today. If y'all need to share this with your friends, because people need to know this, so they won't. Oh, you don't want nobody else to know it because y'all gonna be the smartest person in the room. But let me give you some stuff. I just want to make sure my device is over here working right. Okay, because I was still over there. Let me make sure I didn't miss nothing. My boy Miles Garrett, that left my boy Shador. Kind of pissed off about that just a little bit. But let me finish. Let me explain, Derek. For those of you who would say Nike fumbled or Adidas missed an opportunity, let me explain this to you. Ray 2K. I'm talking about Stephen Curry's new deal with Li Ning. Nike has an embarrassment of riches. Okay. The biggest quality problem that you have when you have too many athletes to market and focus and give attention, that's Nike. They got an embarrassment of riches. They got too many people. Got too many athletes to market, too many to focus on to give attention. They got LeBron. They got KD. They got John Morant. They got Wemby. They got Asia Wilson. They got Giannis. They got Caitlin Clark. They got Devin Booker. And they just signed DJ DeBanster. And they're giving Cade Cunningham his own signature shoe. So brands like Nike and Adidas, y'all, they need young athletes that they sign at the grassroots level and then raise them up like they did Michael Jordan, like they did Penny Hardaway, right? That's where the business opportunity is. But for the Chinese brands, so y'all can be knowledgeable, for the Chinese brands, they can work with legacy and aren't so reliant upon the retro model. They are signing more and more athletes, giving them creative control and equity in the company. And they are starting to make real strides in the American market. I'm talking about Li Ning. Go look it up. And if you don't, and if they don't make strides in America, they got 1 billion people in China, because it's a Chinese company, where they can market. This is was really the only viable option for Stephen Curry, and I think it was a good move for him. An important caveat in closing, he does get to retain the rights to the Curry brand logo. That's his logo, and the business part of his brand. He able to sign other athletes, because no word of what that means for Fox, because De'Aaron Fox was under his brand at Under Armour. But the Curry brand is a venture global. Is a venture, is a global brand thing right now. He says it encompasses basketball products, athleisure wear, and a full golf line. So they are going to capitalize. It's a massive. I didn't even give y'all the price. I was just giving y'all stuff that everybody don't have. But they'll earn I think 1.9 billion in his new 10-year contract with Li Ning. It's worth almost 4 times that what he earned in his 12-year contract with Under Armour. Let me see what else, any other notes I had. But shout out to Stephen Curry. That's how you leverage your brand. That's how, when you're great and you're a great person, things happen for you. So, but I was thinking about some, y'all, because I went to a meeting. And I listened to a politician. Tamika, I hope you're still there. I hope my niece is still there. Brandon Weefall. The relationships between politicians and us has to be renegotiated. These people be coming in and just talking at us. Like, you ask them questions and they talk around that old bush and give us their political talk and do all this. You ask them, and a guy like me gonna say, hey, no. No, put it to me where the goats can get it. I don't want your politically correct answer. I want to know what you're doing. What you actually doing. Because they don't get it. Y'all work for us. We fall. The way politicians, y'all talk, got to be different, man. It has to be a respectful relationship. But the more I be around, the more I see y'all coming on here, y'all know I'm going to be late, and y'all still here. It reminds me that we have within us everything we need, Brandon Weefall. Ray 2K, we got everything we need. Derek Holcomb, within us, Darrell Anderson. I hope my niece is still there. Within us, we have everything we need. Joe Lewis, make sure you give this to your kids. Within us as a collective, not us by ourselves, not us just Jay-Z and Beyonce, us as a collective. Joe Lewis, Otha Brown, Thaddeus Moody, Cheryl Cobb. Cheryl Cobb, one of the greatest women in the world. She's on the feed. I've been seeing your little dirty little secrets. You done brought your secrets back out. But Cheryl, I was at a political meeting the other day, and Cheryl, and I just said, our relationships between politicians had to be renegotiated because they come up there with that political speech, but Robert Hatter gonna ask you, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't tell me about what the committee. What the hell are you doing? It has to be renegotiated, Cheryl, because they don't get it. They come and talk at us. They work for us. Ladies and gentlemen, the way y'all talk to us politicians has to be different. And we have to demand it. It has to be a respectful relationship. Because we are the people. And sure, within us, we got everything we need. Sure. I don't know if you're aware. It's like the 100th anniversary in 4 years, I think, of the massacre at Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Greenwood. Sure, I'm yesterdays old when I found out some stuff that I just didn't know. And I'm still finding out because I got a book, should be at my house today, that I'm going to read called American Black Wall Street. But sure, we have within us everything we need. And I'm going to keep reminding us of what we have. This is why I love this platform. Cheryl, I was late today. I was taking Jackie, my sister, to the doctor. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there. She needed a brother there. But I want to keep reminding us of what we have. Ladies and gentlemen, back during that time, Cheryl, in 1921, Black women couldn't go vote. White women were just allowed to vote. But Black men could vote. And guess what? They wasn't voting. They were scared. And a journalist was writing about it. I'm going to find out who that journalist is. I'm going to talk about that. But the Black women couldn't vote. But I go back. I just found out this weekend. On that June the 1st, because it started, all the stuff started on the 31st of May. But June the 1st, 1921, Cheryl, you know, the people get there around 9 o'clock. This thing lasted from 9 to midnight. And the people in Greenwood go to defend this beautiful black soul young man named Dick Rowland, who they say touched the girl on the elevator. Y'all, I found out something else. And I'm gonna share that with you. I hope I might not get to it today, but tomorrow I'm gonna get to it. Watch this, Cheryl. You're gonna be the smartest woman at the nail shop. They go to defend this kid. Go to the courthouse. Who many of them, listen, many of these people didn't know Dick Rowland. A lot of y'all don't know. They say the narrative is Dick Rowland touched the girl on the elevator, and that caused this whole people to tear up and burn down and bomb a town. That's the narrative. Ray 2K. Cheryl, I hope you're still there. I hope my niece's still there. That's the narrative. Watch this. A lot of people didn't even know who this boy was. They was just fighting for him because they knew what they was going to do to him. They were going to take him out of jail and hang him. But they knew, Cheryl, he was part of their community. Cheryl, you called me up, watch this, and said, I got a lady who got a book, Shonda Scott. I didn't ask you no questions. I said, send me the information, send her my information. She come on the show on the Women Rock Wednesday. I didn't know her. You know her. And she's a part of our community. And these people in Greenwood, they go to the courthouse to defend the courthouse building and to make sure that they don't lynch Mr. Rowland. A fight ensues inside the courthouse because black versus white, and a gun goes off. All the black guys, they retreat and go back to Greenwood. Now, y'all, let me tell you something about our folks that they ain't told y'all, unless y'all already knew it and y'all didn't tell me. Before they even got to the courthouse, they had already set up a plan to set up a skirmish line along the train track, the Frisco Rail train track. So they set up a little camp, little skirmish line. Yes, come, coach. The whites live on this side, the blacks live on this side. You come across this track, you're gonna have problems. So when you asked me earlier, Joe Lewis, what books I'm reading, it's in this book, American Black Wall Street. I'm gonna find the author for you. I'm gonna get it to you. I'm gonna get all this information to you. But when you ask me that, you know I'm gonna give you something. Now listen, I can go in here and tell y'all, Myles Garrett got traded. The Seattle Seahawks reached an extension. I can go in here and tell y'all about. We can talk about the Houston Rockets. We can talk about the Houston Texans. I think they in their mini camp. OTAs. What else we can talk about? We already talked about. We can talk about that. But this what they didn't want you to know. They said, get all your sandbags and your rifles ready because there will be a time that we got to defend Greenwood. Because guns went off, we got to the fight, the white folks finna go get their stuff, we're gonna be ready for them. Cheryl Carr. If anybody heard this, anybody know about this? And they were right. They planned successfully. Listen, that's why I don't want to hear that shit talking about no massacre. They didn't massacre us. We was going at their ass. I'm this weekend years old to find out that we was going at them. Y'all, they defended Greenwell so bad to a point where the white folks retreated back to where they come from. They said, no, I can't mess with these dudes. Dude. And most people had no idea that the fight ensued. They didn't just come in there and just massacre us and we just laid down dead. Shit, then wasn't nobody been alive around there. We got survivors around there. 2 of them still living. In fact, during the first part of the fights, the residents in Greenwood, many of them didn't even know a fight had happened in the residential area because the train track is not close to the residential part. It's so far away from the train tracks. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm sharing this with y'all, this was a remarkable moment in history. I'm going to talk about some sports stuff in a minute, but this was a remarkable moment in history. I'm so mad that I didn't go to if my sister wasn't sick, I would have been in Oklahoma this weekend. When you're talking about black resistance, I gave y'all and I showed y'all a video of that dude, Kevin Roberts, who studied undergrad and got a doctorate, got a PhD and a doctorate in black resistance. So all of his life, Cheryl, his academic life, this white man studied African-American history. The Nat Turner Revolt, the VZ Revolution, the Prosper Rebellion. He studied it. He studied black resistance. Kevin Roberts, ladies and gentlemen, is the author. I showed him to y'all yesterday of Project 2025, a 922-page document with the smarts to know where y'all won't resist in. We gonna sneak this in. Donald Trump, I don't know nothing about no Project 2025. I ain't running on that. And look what this man said. I'm gonna get back to Greenwood. Watch what this man said. Y'all got to hear this.
Did the president implement Project 2025 in this first year plus of his second term?
Well, thanks for that question, because since 1980, Heritage has been offering presidential transition projects, which we generally call Mandate for Leadership. What's known as Project 2025 was done on such a scale that we proposed 1,913 recommendations. 1,000.
I want to repeat that because I want y'all to be the smartest people at the nail shop. The Heritage Foundation been doing this for a long time, y'all. Since the 80s, they've been trying to find a president that would do it, and every president said, no, hell no. Reagan did some, but that was, they kept trying to find presidents that'll do it. Watch him, listen to him.
Did the president implement Project 2025 in this first year plus of his second term?
Well, thanks for that question, because since 1980, Heritage has been offering presidential.
The Heritage Foundation, that's who was paying him to do all of this. Bankrolled by all the white billionaires. Watch this.
Transition projects, which we generally call Mandate for Leadership. What's known as Project 2025 was done on such a scale that we proposed 1,913.
They proposed 1,913 things to do against your little black butts.
Recommendations. 1,055 as we sit.
1,055 they've implemented. Yo, they implemented most of their. Is anybody else on this feed with me? Damn. Somebody should have been saying, what? This is our problem. We want to know how many points Wemby gonna hit, but we get this dude's like this. He used to go watch the basketball games because he did his undergrad grad at University of Virginia. Yeah, I cheer for y'all dudes, but I'm trying to figure out a way to bust y'all's ass. Then he go to University of Texas and do his doctorate. Yeah, I'm cheering for y'all. I'm cheering for you on the football field and the basketball court. But I'm finna figure out, I'm writing this guy, a Project 20. I'm working with the Harris to decide, trying to find how we can hurt your ass, how we can further white supremacy. This is why, soon as he got in the office, January the 20th, by April, 300,000 black women were laid off of these good-ass government jobs, high-paying jobs that put them and their families in upper middle class around the country. That's the first act they did. Federal jobs. And it was in Project 2025. They said what they were going to do. Watch this.
Have been implemented. The person who deserves credit for that is one Donald J. Trump. If we played a role.
Trump told y'all a lie. Barry. When I think about this, when I think about Black Wall Street, 1921, black women couldn't even vote. But now they the hardest voting people in the world. In the United States, they participate more than anybody. Because they knew they tried to prevent them from voting. See, if you don't know your history, come on, well, why do women always vote? They were the last one that's able to vote. Do y'all realize white men care so less about their women? They had black men vote before white women. So when you're talking about black resistance in a way that hasn't been spoken about or mentioned, the records that were kept in Tulsa, watch this. How they were real vague when they were identifying, Barry, the victims, especially the white victims. So if you read the timeline of the Tulsa massacre, this is what you will find. You would find, they'll say, find this person was shot in the foot, but the list and the name of the person, anytime it was a black person was shot or killed, they would just identify them simply as Negro. It's the narrative. This is what they were writing. These are the record keepers. But when a white person was shot and killed, they mentioned their entire name. And they also mentioned that they had to retreat at midnight because them dudes, they was putting it on their ass. They had to get back from 9, they gave them 9, wait a minute, they gave them, how many minutes? Gave them 3 hours of hell. Y'all ain't, they ain't, have y'all ever heard that? Y'all, this is the first time somebody ever explained to me like that. I'm thinking they just come in and just put these little poor black people out the way. But until I watch that movie what's the girl Regina King did? And I saw it. What's the name of the movie? God, it just slipped my mind. It slipped my mind. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't no massacre. Them white folk were getting their ass tore off the bone. Somebody said it was a railroad track full of white bodies. And they even said they had to retreat at 12 because there was no way they're going to be able to invade Greenwood. You know why? Because the train tracks were separated, black, white. And a lot of these brothers who were military trained, they had the high ground. You know when you're at war, Cheryl, you try to find the high ground so you can shoot down on their ass. A good sniper gonna be where? At the higher ground. Strategically, they had to figure out how to protect their town. These were brilliant people, brilliant strategists, not just in theory, but in action. Look up this guy, Cyrus Briggs, black dude who started the African American Blood Brotherhood in New York City. Cyrus Briggs, he brought that message all across the country, how you protect your people, how you protect your community. When the black soldiers came back from World War I, he said, you're going to now have to use your skills to defend your communities, Barry McDonald. And that's exactly what these people did. They formed the African Blood Brotherhood. Google it. That was a military society. It was almost a secret society. You know why? Because you didn't really want to know. They didn't want you to know who was a member of the African Blood Brotherhood. That was something they kept contained. And I thought that's a beautiful strategy. So they couldn't infiltrate you. If I knew Cheryl was in it, I'm finna go threaten her mama and her uncle. If I knew Brandon Wheatfall was in it, I'm finna go do something to him. If I know, they didn't let people know because they didn't want to be subdued or separated or identified. And that made them invincible, Barry McDonald. So my question is, how were they able? Because somebody should be asking me this right now. Robert, they had all this strategy, Robert. How were they able to destroy Greenwood in less than a day? If I got anybody on the feed, I know I'm late and I know I'm behind. But I just want to know who's there before I go on. Because I got some stuff. Because y'all questions should be asking me now. Somebody should be asking me. Robert. Damn, Moody, I can't believe you ain't asking. Robert. How were they able to destroy Greenwood in less than a day? If they whooping them like that. Darryl Barnes. Always remember this. You don't use planes unless you're losing. You don't use planes and bombs on defensive people. Real soldiers. You don't use planes unless you're getting your ass tore off the bone. Y'all need to let that settle in. You don't go get your airplane and drop bombs on just people you can just whoop and you done just massacred. You drop them bombs because them folk were putting that thing on your ass. Boy, y'all need to be sharing this. You do that when you know you don't have an advantage. They did recognize first. See, they did some reconnaissance first. I'm sorry. They did some reconnaissance first, right? Absolutely. Look at that. The Gap Band, GAP mean Greenwood, Archer, and Pine Streets. Greenwood is a street and an area. You dropped the bomb on me, written by Charlie Wilson of the Gap Band. Absolutely. Thank you, Darryl Barnes. They did reconnaissance first before they dropped the bomb. They had a plane right over. So Joe Louis. They wanted to find out where the key formations of the fighters were located. Because these dudes whooping, they was whooped. They said the tracks was full of dead white folks. So somebody flew up and said, let me find out where their ass at inside the district. And once they were identified, that allowed them to strategize and figure out how they can destroy the defense mechanism that was set up around Greenwood. It wasn't a massacre. Massacres, when you come in, you just slaughter people like you're going to slaughter. No. It was a freaking war. Joe Louis said, check out the book called Deacons for Defense, true account based out in Louisiana. Yo, we are resilient, man. I keep telling y'all, that's why I wasn't worried about no gerrymandering. Because I know if we go out and do what the things what we need to do, yo, we got so much in us. Let me let you hear what this guy was saying yesterday.
I talk with my hands. Boastfully, I say, I got two pistols, right? Gold plated. What I'm saying to you is this. On May 31st, 1921, black soldiers went downtown to the courthouse building after an insurrection occurred. Just like you saw on January 6th, there was an insurrection at 4 p.m. in the afternoon to raid the courthouse building to get Dick Rowland, the boy they was accusing of raping Sarah Page. When they went to the courthouse building, the sheriff said, go back home, it's under control, I don't want you to incite these people. They had an argument and they said, wait a minute, you the one who called us down here. Yeah, y'all heard it, didn't you? You the one who called us down here. Now we see an invocation happening, provocation. Fast forward, 8 p.m. Somebody comes to Greenwood and says they got Dick Rowland, but it's a lie. That's called an agent provocateur. Because they did not have Dick Rowland. When they got downtown, 300 black men armed to the teeth approached 2,000 white men. And they fight over a gun, the gun goes off, and the rest goes wild. But those black men who went down there said, listen, the train tracks that divide white Tulsa and black Tulsa, get your sandbags and your rifles, because when we go get Dick Rowland, they're going to be chasing us. So those black folks retreated back into the Greenwood, running backwards, shooting, right? retreated back into Greenwood. For the next few hours, you don't see nothing but dead white folks on the track.
Come on now.
All along the train tracks. Now they pissed, big pissed. So they go back to the courthouse building, get deputized, get weaponized, and get everything they need. The court record said that the police chief said, get a gun, kill a nigga.
Ladies and gentlemen, I be wanting y'all to know, y'all, this was government sanctioned. Because it wasn't about the little boy. And it wasn't about the little boy, man. And then I learned how they got him. After they done whooped them folks and whooped them 12 o'clock, they messed around and put the kids to sleep. Because the next day, y'all know what time of month this is? The next day, the young people were supposed to go to the prom. Yo, people still living their lives. So they were ambushed after they went to sleep. Children, go to sleep. Children in Greenwood was planning for the prom. The mistake was we should have never went to sleep. Greenwood is a large area. It's not just a street. So they got these bombs and these planes from the government. Your own country did this to you. The book, American Black Wall Street. I never forget this. Napoleon Bonaparte said, history is a set of lies agreed upon. Yo, I'm gonna repeat that one. Napoleon Bonaparte. Y'all need to be sharing this show. I know ain't nobody told y'all this. He said, history is a set of lies agreed upon. So there were people inside of that city and people then and people now who agreed upon a narrative and what the lie should be. They think it was, everybody think it was about the little boy Dick Rowland and what you call. And so everyone is taught to focus their energy on Dick Rowland. But tomorrow, I'm gonna come back and give y'all what they should. This the reason. Y'all, they ain't did all that killing about that. That's the narrative that they told us and we went with it. He touched the white girl in the elevator, so let's kill them all. Let's tear up all of this nice stuff these black folk got. But I'm gonna tell y'all the rest of that at the bar. Y'all got to come back to the bar and get it. Y'all got to come back to the bar and get it. I'm not giving it to you today. Not giving it to you. What was that? I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you. You got to come back tomorrow. I was late. like I told you, I took my sister doctor. But somebody sent me something this morning, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. Right? I got to make sure I get it right because it said to McDonald's All-American. Hey, hold on. Let me see if I got it. Let me see, can I get it here and make it bigger? Let me see, can I make it a little bit bigger? Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay. Dear Chairman, Stephen A. Clements, and the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame Committee. This from Derek Coleman, I think. He said, thank you for the invitation and the work you do to recognize athletic achievement, sports history, and community legacy. After deep reflection, I must respectfully inform you that I will not be attending this year's event. My decision comes from a place of conviction, consciousness, and respect for my people. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. I want to extend my sincere congratulations to the inductees Eric Yelding, Joe Nyland, and Derek Burrows. Their accomplishments and their contributions to sports deserve recognition, and I honor the work, sacrifice, and legacy that brought them to this moment. Y'all, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me. Where am I at? He said, I decline because the moment is bigger than the award. To all you sellouts, here it comes. We are living history all over again. The Supreme Court has weakened the Voting Rights Act. And the fight for our vote, our voice, and our future remains under attack. Even now, federal courts continue to strike down voting rights maps designed to unlawfully. Y'all, this from Derek Coleman, a McDonald's All-American, an NBA player, to unlawfully discriminate against black voters in Alabama. A federal court ruled that the state's congressional map unlawfully diluted black voting strength. Yet, despite these rulings, battles over voting rights, district maps, ballot access, the political representation continues across the South. States include Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas have all faced significant legal, legislative, or public challenges regarding voting rights. Oh my God. Somebody just sent this to me this morning. Electoral representation and the political influence of black communities. For many Americans, these debates are not abstract political issues. They are questions about whether every citizen voice carries equal weight in our democracy. These gerrymandering, these maps, legislative efforts to redistrict voting access have the effect of weakening black political power and diminishing representation. It is estimated that between 55 to 60% of all black people in the United States live in the southern states, making the region a central battleground in the ongoing struggle for voting rights and equal representation. This is not as simple about elections. It's about whether democracy works equally for everybody. People fought, bled, marched, organized, and died for these protections. Derek Boone. To accept personal recognition. This Derek, they want him to come to this thing in Alabama. He said, for me to accept personal recognition while black voters and other voters of colors continue to face challenges to fair representation would be a contradiction to everything my journey represents. Derek, you my new hero. Voters deserve a fair say in their government. Politicians should not choose their voters. Voters should choose their politicians. If you separate me, from my people, you diminish the very value of who I am and what I represent. My identity, my purpose, my contributions are rooted in the people who shaped me, stood with me, and made my journey possible. I must be myself. What would my ancestors say if I accepted an honor while remaining silent about the conditions affecting the very people from whom I come? It is not a rejection, a recognition, history, or sports legacy. It is an affirmation that any honor connected to me is also connected to my community. I see why this guy sent me this morning. I don't give but 12 thumbs ups. My ancestors and the people who struggle and sacrifice made my path possible. We cannot settle for silence. We must continue to organize, mobilize, vote, challenge unfair maps, and demand fair representation. At every level, democracy will not fall on our watch. I hope this moment can lead to reflection, understanding, and a deeper commitment to justice, equity, dignity, and fair representation to all people. Respectful, Derek Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't looked at the origin, why Derek said it. He said, I cannot celebrate. It ain't nobody. I cannot celebrate individual achievements while remaining indifferent to the collective struggle that made these achievements possible. To the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame committee, he said, no, can't do it. He said, I can't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, LSU, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas. Why you want me come playing for your school if you don't respect the community I came from? Mamas, daddies of these blue chip football players. I'm talking to y'all because football is king. They don't care. Yo, I did not know what that note was going to be about. My partner sent it to me this morning at, let me see what time he sent it. Gary Carter sent that to me this morning. At what time? At 12:30. I was just pulling up because I was late up for the show today. I don't have one comment. Is it the reason I ain't getting no comments? Is it because, man, I wouldn't have gave up my reward and I'd have went to I went to that award ceremony because I want my recognition. Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Ladies and gentlemen, Derek Coleman, man, you're the kind of man that I want to be around. Ladies and gentlemen, keep telling y'all. Some of these predators that wanted to come into these culture vultures, that wanted to come into our basketball community and do some stuff and call me, praising me. I'll never forget. I was on the fourth hole. Got through with the fourth and fifth, sixth hole. By the seventh hole, another one dude that called me. Man, I heard how to use the man. If I want to get something started, I want to get something done in this town. First thing I asked him, have you talked to Jimmy Hicks? Yeah, we talked to him, but they told me I need, I got off the phone and called Jimmy. But what they were telling me, Joe Lewis and Eric Boone, what they'll do for me. Robert, we're going to give you this. We're going to give you this. We're going to do this in Memphis. We're going to do this in LA where I said, I know you just told me how it's going to benefit me. But I asked them the magic critical question because I critically thought about it very quickly. I said, how does that benefit Joe Lewis? How does that benefit Darryl Barnes and his kids? How does that benefit Barry McDonald? How does that benefit Eric Boone? How does that benefit Brandon Wheatfall? How does that benefit Ray 2K? How does that benefit Derek Holcomb? How does that benefit Tamika? How does that benefit who else? Otha Brown. How does that benefit them? How does that benefit Travis Lynch? No, dude, that ain't benefiting them. You come in to take from this. You come in to take from this community. So you thought you were going to sit up here and think you could use me to do it. Not happening. Ladies and gentlemen, before I talk about this grassroots stuff, I want to really, really just give y'all this. You have to vote. In that last election cycle, there was so many registered voters that didn't vote, and with so many people that haven't been registered. We got to get them registered. We got to educate them. We got to register them, and then we got to get them out. Those are three things. That's what my man Mega Evers died. This is what he died for. He said, well, first of all, we got to educate them. Then we got to get them registered. Then we got to get them to turn out. You have to vote like your grandmother stood in line for hours just for this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to vote because innocent people found themselves on the other side of a fire hose and barking and biting dogs. You have to vote because people were lynched from sycamore trees like strange fruit. You have to vote because Fannie Lou Hamer was sick and tired, Boone, of being sick and tired. You have to vote because you understand that democracy by itself is not a spectator sport. Everybody has to participate. Gotta vote. So let me get back to this. I saw this. Somebody sent me them. They said, Robert, one of the reasons the youth sports. Yeah, I stopped there. Because we're going to talk about this stuff all week. Y'all can listen. When I give y'all this information, I don't have enough time to give you everything. I'm going to go to two, I think, I got 10. I got 38 minutes to go. Hold up, before we go anywhere. Hold up. This is what I need y'all to be doing. Right here. Hold on. This man from our community.
Yeah, so, 713 call Joe. If you been injured, Joe Steven Law firm. 713 call Joe. Car wreck, truck wreck, let Joe come from. 713 call Joe. Need a pro on the K, let Joe take over.
What's up, Houston? This is Attorney Joe Stevens. I'm a former Houston Rocket with over 20 years of experience in the insurance industry and a decade of experience in the courtroom. I know how insurance companies operate, and I know how to fight back.
713 call Joe. 713 call Joe.
Travis Lynch, you said thanks for sharing. I'm a critical thinker, so I'm going to ask, why? Why did you tell me thanks for sharing? I appreciate you because you're the only one said something. But why did you say thanks for sharing? I'm curious. You said thanks for sharing. I want to know. Thanks for sharing. I'm curious. I want to know. I'm going to tell you why. If you tell. He said, if I forgot to tell you, I like that purple shirt yesterday. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But why? Why did you say thanks for sharing? Because I wanted to get inside of somebody else. What if LeBron thought like that? What if the 450 players in the NBA and the 1,500 players in the NBA, in the NFL, and the white and black players. What if all of them dude, that wasn't history. I think, you was talking about, you might have been talking about the Greenwood stuff. But I'm talking about the Derek Coleman stuff. This just happened. This ain't history. This right now. Now the Greenwood and Tulsa stuff, yes, that happened 100 years ago. So that's why I asked you. But I was just thinking about, because somebody sent this to me. They said one of the reasons youth sports has become so complicated is because everyone involved is often chasing a different definition of success. One, parents want college recruiting to be the primary focus. Another wants their child to enjoy the experience and make friends. Another wants the championship. Another one wants equal playing time. Another one believes development matters more than wins. Another one believes if you pay thousands of dollars, your child should be on the field or the court. None of these perspectives, y'all, are necessarily or inherently wrong. They're just different. Boom. Why did you want your daughter to play sports? Travis, why did you want your son? Joe Lewis, why did you want your son to play? What was your reason? Darryl Barnes, I don't know if your daughter played. Cheryl, no. Brandon Weefall, why? You got Division I son and a daughter. Why? Derek Holcomb, Joe Lewis. Y'all talk to me. Share the show, man. Golly, I need somebody to talk to. But none of these perspectives are necessarily inherently wrong. They're just different. And the challenge is that one coach, one team, and one season cannot satisfy all of them at the same time. You got guys leaving Beaumont United's basketball team. And that's right, Beaumont United. Peyton Jones and Ephraim Moore. They wanted something different. Nothing wrong. Because in the beginning, I said one of the reasons youth sports have become so complicated is because everyone involved is often chasing a different definition of success. Y'all talk to me. I know somebody other than Travis is on here. But I said none of those perspectives are wrong. They're just different. You can't be mad at me because me and my kid trying to be a pro and you just trying to be on the team. I realized that when my son was in high school. That school was not used to getting that kind of attention. Wasn't nobody coming to no damn West Side games. In 2012, 2011, 2009, 8, 9, all of that. None of them. Into 2000, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm sorry. In 2006 and 7 and all. Why nobody come to see Shannon Short and them? That little 10th grader got on that campus and made parents mad. Y'all, it's a parent told somebody at the barbershop, didn't know I knew him. Man, my son better get off that football field because this little 10th grader coming in there trying to take all his shine. Your son play football. He ain't gonna never play basketball no more. And you worried about a 10th grader. You should have been worried about him in the 9th grade because he used to tear your son them ass up when he was in the 9th grade, but he just didn't want to play on the varsity. He wanted to play on his 9th grade team. You should have knew then it was coming. But can you imagine that? Man, I need somebody to talk to. Can you imagine somebody going all the way to the barbershop or wherever they at, talking about somebody else's son? I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait.
Yeah, so, 713 call Joe. If you been into Joe Steven Law Firm. 713 call Joe. Call Rick, truck work, let Joe confirm. 713 call Joe. Need a pro on the K, let Joe take over.
What's up, Houston? This is attorney Joe Stevens. I'm a former Houston Rocket with over 20 years of experience in the insurance industry and a decade of experience in the courtroom. I know how insurance companies operate, and I know how to fight back.
713 call Joe. 713 call Joe.
See, Brandon, we thought, me and you had two different, and it's okay. I said youth sports has become so complicated because everyone involved is often chasing different definitions of success. You say you wanted your kid to go for school for free. That ain't why I wanted mine to play. I didn't. But but everybody's reason is different. The kids these days, few and far between have a heart. But we ain't talking about the hard part right now. We talking about what parents want. One parent wants college recruiting. One parent just wants that kid to enjoy the experience, make friends. Another wants a championship. Another wants to play equal playing time. Another believes in developing matters more than wins. Another believes if you're paying thousands of dollars, your kid. But I'm glad you said that, Brandon. Because that never ever crossed me and my son's mind, ever. I want you to play in college for free. Not one time. I want you to be the best basketball player. I want you to enjoy yourself. Really, I want him to be the best point guard. I want him to be the best basketball player he can do. Because all of that stuff will come. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason that couldn't have been mine, we turned down scholarships to go to the Ivy League. Brandon, we turned down the free stuff. He went where his dad had to pay. And I asked him, I talked to him about it. So now look, we can take this money I got saved for your Ivy League education. Because all the time I wanted him to go to Harvard. All his life. That's why he went to Kincaid, 5th and 6th grade. And they worked his little old mind to death. I didn't think my son was gonna make it. The little boy was doing homework from 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night. But that was my plan. Because everybody involved are chasing different definitions of what? Success. So I said, look, player, I just gave him the option. It wasn't gonna happen. Player, we can split this money. You can go and get one of these scholarships you want to take. Are we gonna go to the Ivy League? I didn't care what he said. He was going anyway. I just wanted to hear him say, he said, I want to go Ivy. But guess what? I had to get him there. But I keep thinking about the parent that would say, my son got to hurry up and get off the football field. Because, football season, goes into the basketball season, the early part of basketball season. What happened, the robber they was going all these scrimmage, and he was just destroying in the scrimmage. Everybody was talking about the guard, the left-handed guard with the goggles. Everybody, the mammy said, son got to hurry up and get off the football field because somebody taking his shine. Not now, watch this. Now my son, who's a wing, got a point guard that can throw him alley-oops and can get him the rock. That's how crazy this stuff is out here. Are y'all hearing me? Is anybody talking to me? Parents are also navigating an increasingly confusing landscape that's going on right now. Travel teams, private trainers, recruiting services, showcases, camps, social media, influencers, glazers, former players, college coaches, and other parents all offering advice. And all any parent in around this area in the world got to do is put on this show for the last 9 years, and it can breeze them straight through this thing. And often that advice that all these people gave you directly contradicts itself. One person said, play multiple sports. Another place, specialize early. One person said, development matters most. Another said, exposure matters. One person said, find the best coach. Always said. Another said, find a team that will give your child the most playing time. One person said, your child needs more reps. Another said, your child needs more rest. One person said a child should attend the prom and not miss life events. Another said, team commitment should come before all else. I never forget, we had that dilemma. I don't know what happened. But I know there's a guy on our team, wasn't even going to his prom, going to his girlfriend's prom. That dude was on the precipice. That's when it was a live period during the prom time. And he never got a college scholarship. He wanted to go to prom with the girl. He was in 11th grade. She was in 12th grade. For families investing significant amount of time and money, it can become incredibly difficult to know who to trust. The coaching side is complicated. I'm listening. I'm watching what Penny going through. I watch what Damon Stoudemire. He just got fired. Great coach. Got fired from Georgia Tech. It's hard to get somebody in there to play. You got to be able to play and you got to be smart to get in Georgia Tech. And you give him 3 years and then fire him? Most coaches are not showing up every day trying to hold players, not showing up every day trying to hold players back, target families, or play favorites. Most genuinely care about the athletes and want them to succeed. Most coaches are not showing up every day trying to hold players back and target families or play favorites. Most of them. But most generally care about the athletes and want them to succeed. But coaches are often forced to make decisions where there are no perfect answers. Ladies and gentlemen, should they prioritize winning over development? Should they place the senior who has earned it or the younger player with the higher ceiling? Y'all, I've been through this. I had the young player with the higher ceiling. But he just happened to be so better than everybody else. So they had to play. Even on senior night, when he was a junior, coach put every senior in except one. He said, my point guard got to stay. I'll mix you other seniors out. You know how they let the seniors start? He said, no, I got to have my point guard. Should they focus on the best interest of one athlete or the best interest of the team? Man, I just wish I had somebody to talk to. Ain't nobody even talking to me. Should they reward effort, production, leadership, potential, experience, or loyalty? Every decision creates a winner and a loser in somebody's eyes. A coach sees an entire roster. A parent sees their child. Man, I wish I had somebody feeling this with me right now. I know I look for my child. I ain't gonna lie. But I was smart enough to know if my child's team was good, he was gonna be good. So I want the best players. I was trying to help work out everybody on the damn team. They just never showed up. I had a whole gym, y'all, for everybody on his team to go practice with a gun and everything. And don't but one or two of them show up. For 3 years. The coach sees the entire roster. A parent sees their child. Neither perspective, y'all ladies, is inherently wrong, but they naturally create conflict. That's why I can talk about this today. Back then, I was mad at them parents because I didn't understand. No. Kevin Freeman. No, I had Westside. Coach, we played at Westside High School. Kevin Freeman. West Briarton Middle School. We had access to West Briarton Middle School too. Right around the corner from your school. My son in there every evening when they ain't got no game. With a gun. All y'all had to do is come keep shooting until y'all ready to go. Every day. They had access to it. Yes. West Briar had 2 gyms. Weight room and everything. But I don't know what their perspective was. But the reality, Freight, reality is that parents often judge a season through the lens of their child's experience, while coaches are forced to evaluate it through the lens of the entire team. Man, I'm giving y'all some good stuff today. And those viewpoints frequently collide. Y'all, we got some 8th graders about to go to 9th graders. These parents need that. I might talk about this again tomorrow. These parents need that. Y'all need to splice this out and send them to them. Tell a friend, tell another friend. Text, tag, tell somebody. Do it with vim, vigor, and vitality. Then when you add in the emotional investment, the financial commitment, the social media comparisons, recruiting pressures, and the fact that every child develops at a different pace, and it becomes easy to see why frustration exists. Youth sports isn't difficult because people don't care. Glenn said, loyalty is great, but the best must be on the floor. It doesn't matter about the classification. Thank you, Coach. Glenn, it's difficult, Glenn, because everybody cares deeply. I can go back and think about them parents. They care deeply about their son. Kevin Freeman, the lady told, I think it was Jimmy, said, man, I got to tell my son got to get off that football field. He got to hurry up and get off that football field because this 10th grader is taking all of his shine. I guess her son was the best basketball player and the best football player the year before. We didn't care. I didn't care. I wanted him to have somebody. If he that good, shit, we gonna win. Jock Ahmed, I saw you on one of the videos, boy. And one of them wins y'all had. But I was just thinking about it, Jock. You got a 9th grader that practice on his 9th grade team against your son, against the varsity team every day and tie into their ass. And you should be telling your mama, I want him on my team. Because he averages 30 and 10. He gonna pass the ball to me. But instead, that kid, because of his mama, that kid was always jealous of my son. Cause what's happening at home. Parents, y'all, I can tell y'all this now. Y'all, I had to get over this stuff. Cause I knew I had too much to lose, but I wanted to cuss all they non-playing asses out. Jock, you round by high school basketball. Y'all round high school. Glenn Hickman, you round. How many parents offer a gym free of charge for 10th, 11th, 12th grade with a gun there, weight room there, right around the corner from your school? How many parents offer that to all the players? Her sons never came. She had 2 sons on the team. They never came. I guess they were playing football. But I think about it, y'all. I'm just thinking about it because I'm thinking about this. Youth sports isn't difficult because people don't care. It's difficult because people care deeply. Parents care about their children. Coaches care about their teams. Athletes care about their opportunities. Jock. And when passionate people are pursuing different goals, disagreements are inevitable, Jock. Jock, I wish I had somebody telling me this back then. That's why I told y'all I don't want to be a generational thief. I don't want to leave here I want to leave here empty. From all this stuff I got into me, I'm giving to y'all. Josh, y'all got to, Jock, y'all got to give it to y'all kids. Glenn, you got to give it to y'all kids and y'all parents. Your parents and your kids should be watching this show. Going back in the archives. The best environments aren't the ones where everybody always agrees. Y'all, I tell y'all, I want y'all, Kevin Fraber, what's my favorite thing? I want you to disagree with me. I never forget. I came back from California, and I came on the show. Was talking about the experience I had because my partner was coaching with the Clippers, and I was bragging. Kevin Frankman was there. I was bragging about one player. I said, I'm telling people on the Chop Shop, man, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I know he's a rookie. Oh my God, he was killing everybody at Loyola Marymount. Then we went over to Rico Hines at UCLA. He was killing everybody over there. And then Rondo came over there and said something about it. Told Sam, said, hey man, y'all got something there, buddy. Y'all got something right there. Because he was tearing Rondo a new asshole. Both of them went to Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Frankman fell in love with the dude. I like him, but I like Wemby better. And my boy Wemby gonna be playing tomorrow night. So I'm trying to tell y'all now what I want y'all to do, because I want to finish this. The best environments, I'm gonna give y'all some secrets, but I'm gonna give them to you again tomorrow, but I'm giving you, but the best environments aren't the ones where everyone always agree. They're the ones where expectations are clear. Communications is honest. Trust is built over time, and everyone remembers that there are many different paths to success in sports and in life. Coach Hickman said, parents don't determine you will make a college or NBA team. Summer teams determine who is recruited. This is why all tournaments are not good, even with the baller TV circus. The Knicks gonna let Cat out the bag. You know what though? I'm gonna tell y'all a matchup to look for. Glenn, I got 5 minutes, Glenn. I'm gonna tell y'all a matchup, Glenn. I want y'all to look for tomorrow. Jock, I want y'all to look at the Wemby Josh Hart matchup. I think they're gonna put Wemby on Josh Hart defensively, because they don't respect Josh Hart's shooting, but he shot the lights out of it in the last series. So Wemby can be able to close out and mess with him, but he be able to get back in the paint because Wemby can cover so much ground. And Josh Hart try to drive in there with that little stuff. Wemby can smack it. So that's why they got Josh Hart. I think they're going to put him on him. But I want y'all to look at, it's 14 minutes. I want y'all to, that might determine this game. And those are the, what's the kid's name? Hold on. 14 minutes. Luke Cornett. Those are the Luke Cornett minutes. Those are the minutes that I'm concerned about. Because he usually play 14 minutes. In the playoffs, when Wemby is in the game, the Spurs are a plus 188. When Luke Cornett is in the game, they are a minus 12. So, those are the minutes. See, y'all, I be watching. Y'all got to understand these teams are so evenly matched that it's going to take the little small things. How physical they going to let OG Anunoby be with Wemby? Is Wemby going to retaliate? See, in this finals, Travis, you got to rely on your habits. And when I talk about habits, I'm talking about your consistency. See, one night you're supposed to be the low man on defense, and if you late one beat, somebody dunking in the rim on you. One tag late, or one beat late on a tag, Wemby in the rim with one of them Spider-Mans. On a coverage, you mess up. Y'all, these are the kind of things I watch in the back. You listen, you can be out there, you can be a dog, but if you miss coverages, stuff like that. I'm just watching, but watch the Luke Cornett minutes. I know y'all saying, what does that mean? Man, 14 minutes. You can get a run in 14 minutes. I don't think Towns gonna be the make or break. I think he can play well and they can still get their head toe clean off the bone. I think he can. Because if Vassell play, if you're saying in order for Karl Anthony Towns to be effective, he got to be able to pull that guy out and hit threes. What if Vassell, whoever got to guard him, pulling somebody out, the middle gonna be open for Wemby? What if Champagnie pulling somebody out? So y'all, it's crazy. And what if Fox ankle's not hurt? I'm telling y'all, man, them Cornette minutes. I'm telling y'all. I told you gonna be the smartest dude at the mill. Yo, hey, hold up. When y'all watch the game tonight, people around you said, look, let's pay attention to the Cornette minutes. And you can tell them, y'all, you don't have to tell them I told you. You can get the credit. But y'all, is Josh Hart gonna hit that shot? Big body Bronson gonna tear whoever ass in front of him. I already know that. Is Castle gonna turn that thing over 1,000 times? Is my young fella gonna come off the bench going at somebody's head? Harper might, like you said, Cat might beat it. Harper might be the deciding factor. Hell no. I need Harrison Barnes to be on that damn bench and don't never get on. That's what I need Harrison Barnes to do. I listen. Hell no, man. Travis Lynch. I need that. Oh, the team got better when they set his ass on the bench. Do y'all know that's when when San Antonio turned around? Their whole season turned around when they set Harrison Barnes' ass on the bench and put Champagne in the game. That's when the season turned around, Doc. And you talking about Harrison Barnes' sorry ass? What? I can't believe that came out your mouth, Travis Lynch. You've been watching this show too long for that. Let me. I can't believe you said that. I don't want that. I don't want Travis. Jock, I don't want him to never have. I need him to be over there with Bismarck Biombo. Him and Bismarck just sit over there and talk to Wemby when he come out the game. That's all I need them to do. Put his sorry ass in the game. Put Carter Bryant in the game. Put his sorry ass in the game. Hold on. That man said Harrison Barnes. Wait a moment. Where that name at? Hang on. Terrible. Terrible in these playoffs. Where? Where's plus minus at? Show me his plus minus. I like it. Y'all, I think got plus minus crazy around here. That man. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. That man averaging 2 points a game. No rebound. One assist. Hell no, Travis Lynch. I can't believe it came out your mouth. Set his ass clean on that bench. Man, Travis Lynch, boy, you ain't been around too long. I'm gonna leave you alone. But this man said Harrison Barnes. I need Harrison Barnes to get 2 good games. I don't need that man to do nothing. Nothing. Nathan. Oh. 9th Street. Now, if he can hit a 3, I'm gonna mess with you. You know I'm over here trying to find his damn plus minus somewhere. They ain't too extensive. Oh, what about my advanced stats? Let me see. What my plus minus at? Oh boy. But let me get out of here, y'all. Oh, yeah, I'm 3 minutes over time. Man, I thank y'all for putting up with me being late today. I was late intentionally. I had to go and do something today, but I enjoyed y'all. I can't wait till tomorrow. We're going to talk. I got some more. I got to finish some stuff tomorrow about the Tulsa massacre. I got to talk about women. I got some more stuff on women. They talking about Jalen Brunson talking about they can't be complacent just making the finals. I just told y'all that a minute ago. You can't be satisfied with just making the finals, man. That boy Wemby said, man, this is what I live for. I said, wow. But I'm out of here, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Y'all are great. Y'all great. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out.